Hey, Mar.
Andrew!
What's going on? You get divorced again, I heard?
Yeah, I did.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah, I do.
All right, ready?
Here we go.
Welcome
Two.
the
Happy.
Never
After.
Pod.
Podcast is one word.
I know, but that's why it's funny.
Welcome to the Happy Never After podcast.
You fall off the fucking seat?
No, she hit me with a fucking thing. I'm going to have a fucking bruise.
What'd she hit you?
What's this, Marshall?
With a rubber band.
You fucking baby.
You fucking hit me.
You were.
You put it in your hair. Get one of those buns happening.
I'm too bald to do a man bun, but I'll do a back man bun.
A back bun.
What is this? You look good.
Thanks.
Man, now you're fuckable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. You
Oh,
just-
yeah. Let me see.
It's
you
all right.
smushed it.
Don't worry about it. Oh, my God. I'm so tired. Mars here.
Hi. You're tired from being a bad boy?
Hi, welcome to Happy Never After.
Hi, welcome. I'm Mara. I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm Andrew.
That's Andrew.
And there's Marshall over there on the couch.
The fuck's the matter with you?
I'm very tired. I don't know if I'm having a stroke or having fun. I don't know. It's one or the other.
Well, it's because you've been getting hammered.
Hammered drunk.
Schmammered.
Hammered. I'm done drinking.
Hambonied.
I think I'm done again.
Well, you say that. You've been saying that for a while, though.
Well, it's summertime. I feel like summertime you should be hammered.
We really shifted roles here.
Oh, there's been a tilt.
It's a real move here.
Well, I think yours was due to medication
Yes.
and staying sober,
Yes.
and then me boozing.
Yeah, but then I actually just contend.
Yeah.
I contend with the soberness. I drank twice post, and I didn't feel good either time about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a little spritz, a little half a spritzer. Got crazy. I was super drunk off half a spritzer. And then I drank a bunch of whiskey, like a gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A what?
No, I'm kidding. That's like
I
3
think
shots.
a lot of vodka, a lot of Tito's. If you're listening out there, Tito's.
Tito's. The gluten-free vodka
Yeah, it's
that
made
we
out
enjoy.
of corn, and it like convinces you that it's good
Use
for you.
the bottom of your voice. Tito's. Tito's.
Tito's. I like Tito's.
That's what Marshall says. That's what he would hire us if we started going a little bit lower.
If you
Tito's.
Hello, hey, how's everybody doing tonight? It's all in the back of the throat.
How's everyone in Tito Land?
Everyone's good over here. Everyone's good over here in Tito Land. How's it over there in Cheeto Land?
Tito Land? We're good over here in Tito Land.
Tito?
Tito.
Tito?
Tito.
Cheeto. Dorito? Frito. Giorlito. If you're thinking about having a Frito or a Dorito or a Cheeto, get yourself Giorlito and share a nice Tito.
Bambino.
We haven't done a nice jingle in a while.
We haven't done
Should
a
we do
nice
one for
jingle.
Tito's? Tito's Ortiz.
Tito. Ortiz.
Do you like...
I don't know who that is, but it sounds familiar.
He's a UFC fighter.
Oh, yeah, I should know.
I don't know anymore. Yeah, I don't know. It's summertime, baby.
I feel like we got closer together, like, actually,
Yeah.
and then we pushed each other away from each other. Oh.
In life?
Yes,
You think?
the end.
That's pretty deep.
No, I mean, I think I just rolled off the carpet.
Oh, you mean like physically, like right
yeah.
now?
Remember
Oh.
how we were very uncomfortable with sitting so close?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're much further away today.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
This is interesting. I'm sorry, listeners. I almost died once.
You almost died one time. I feel like you've almost died a lot of times.
I feel like between the two of us, we have about 18 lives.
Why won't we die?
I don't know. I think
It's
we're gonna
so
we're gonna
weird.
die on the same day, like the Notebook, and then they're gonna put us in the same casket, and we're gonna be like, "Fuck!"
It'll be the biggest fucking casket.
Oh my
ever.
god.
It's gonna be huge.
No, we're gonna go
'Cause I'm gonna
right
give
face
up.
to face forever.
Like, look, they're kissing. No, they're vomiting.
Yeah.
That's their vomit face.
Here lies Mara and Andrew. Yep. Oh man.
Wait, do the Jews have to be buried a certain way?
Yeah.
though?
Ass up. That's the way we like to fuck. Yeah. No. 6 feet.
The regs?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
normal.
Well, I think 6 feet is for like getting eaten and stuff.
Part of me wants to be frozen.
I want to be that. I want to get that deep freeze and then smushed.
Deep freeze. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
It's new.
I want to be a tree. I saw something where they make you in the soil and then you become a tree. That'd be pretty bad.
Well, they just mix your ashes with
Yeah.
so
I
your
don't know.
nutrients.
Fucking
Yeah.
death sucks. I hate death.
I don't mind it, but mostly because it just doesn't happen.
I'm afraid to die.
Are you really?
Yeah, for sure. I've been better with it lately, but yeah, I used to be bad. I used to wake up in the middle of the night crying when I was like 12. Like, I don't know. I'd
When
have
you were
horrible
12?
nightmares. I'd have
That's
horrible-
fucking puberty, man.
Yeah. Well, I'd always, yeah. I
It
don't know.
is.
Oh, I did it also
th-
recently. No, not recently.
You
Sometimes I can't sleep because I think I'm going to die.
you little bitch.
Yeah, I'm a little bitch.
Get it together.
This is a very morbid podcast so far.
It has been, yeah.
But death is scary. You never
Yeah,
think
I
about death?
No, I don't. I really don't. I'm not scared of it at
So
all.
when you're feeling horrible, when anxiety's at its worst, and you're feeling sick, and you feel
I
like...
know my life is gonna go on, and I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck?
It never flashes in your eyes like, I might just die right now.
No,
Interesting. You, Marv?
never.
No.
I have faced death so many
jealous.
times that I'm like, what the hell?
What do you think happens after you die?
I just think that your energy gets recycled.
Yeah?
Yeah. So maybe you turn into something else. I probably will, because I'll probably get stuck here forever. I just have a feeling that my energy, some cunt that died before me, did
Yeah.
something.
Some witch.
Some fucking
Some
bastard.
hoary witch.
I think it was a man. What's a man witch called?
A
It's
man
called-
witch.
They came up with that delicious sandwich. I love man witch.
A chip witch you're thinking of, right?
That's ice cream.
Yeah, what's a man witch?
No, man.
Just made it up.
Man witch is a sloppy Joe.
Oh, I didn't
You've
know
never
that.
had a sloppy
No.
Joe?
I've had sloppy joes. I had sloppy Kim.
Who can go faster? You're tired today.
I'm so
Ready?
tired.
Ready? Ew.
Slower might be worse than faster, to be honest.
Slower is disgusting. That's what you look like, a drunk person. Drunk people are always trying to look
feel
for their
drunk.
tongue.
And they're always searching for their teeth. Gummy, like homeless people are always
There
gummy.
it
Yeah.
is. There it is.
There it is.
Where is it?
There it
Where
is.
is it? There
If
it
you're
is.
sticking with us, folks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really do. I apologize for them.
Where is it?
There it is. That's over there. Your tongue is so sneaky. It's just there
there
it
it
is.
is,
Oh,
there it
there's the tongue. There it is. What are you doing in there, tongue?
You silly little mink.
What are you doing? You're hiding behind the teeth?
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. There it is. Where is it?
There. There it is.
Where did it go? Went somewhere. Woo, I need a nap.
Are you getting that mid-afternoon hangover?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Your eyes look very green today, so you must have drank a lot of alcohol last night.
Thank you. But thank you for the compliment.
It's like a compliment, but
Also
also
a tear down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, you must have just really gotten yourself torn up.
I don't get fucked up though like I used to, you know.
No.
Back in my party boy days.
Party boy?
Party boy.
Were you a part? Oh yeah, you were a party boy. You dressed up
did.
as a party boy once.
Do you remember Party Boy from Jackass, Marshall?
No.
So Jackass was a show. Do you remember Jackass?
It was a movie, no?
Well, there was a movie and a TV show about the guys that do all the pranks
all
and
that
shit.
fucking thing. Yeah.
So there was a guy that would take off his like pants and just fucking have his little dick and his tighty whities, and I dressed like that. And I met this football player who was 6'9", 340 pounds, and he was in the NFL. And I was like, oh my God, you're in the NFL. And I was like, I'm Party Boy. And then I got up on the fucking...
Is that what you said?
I was like, I'm Andrew Collin, and I'm Party Boy.
Your enthusiasm to meet the NFL player.
I was like, oh my God, you're in the NFL, dude. That's fucking awesome, man. I'm fucking Party Boy. Let's go. Let's party. And so I go to a party, we go to a bar, and it's like 4 in the afternoon. I'm getting up on the bar. I'm so
It's
fucked
4
up.
in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's not even like late yet. And it's like 2 days before Halloween. It's not even
Cool.
Halloween yet. And I'm going, it's Party Boy. It's Party Boy. And I'm taking off the pants. I'm throwing my little Jew dick around. I'm like, oh, it's Party Boy. And I got my fucking chest shaved and my nipples hard. And I'm ready to go. And I'm like, it's Party Boy. And the football player loved it. He's like, oh, that's Party Boy. That's fucking Party Boy. That's... Man, I love that guy. I fucking love that. And I was like, dude, I love you too, man. You're the best. I love the Packers, you know? So then he leaves. We start taking painkillers together. And, like, he's, like, 6'9", so he's not that fucked up. And I'm just like, I'm Party Boy. I'm Party Boy. I'm Party Boy. I'm Party Boy. Party Boy. There it is. Party Boy. So he goes back to the house. I get there an hour later. I'm pounding on the door going, it's Party Boy. It's Party Boy's here. And then I knock on the window. He didn't answer the door. I knocked on the window, and I knocked through the window. And I fucking sliced my arm, and blood is just shooting all over me. And I just unlocked the door, like, and I let myself in. And it's pitch black. So I hear these, like, loud fucking footsteps, and he's going, who is that? Who the fuck is that? And I'm like, and before I can get out Party Boy, he tackles me. And he's choking me out, like killing me, because he thinks I'm a robber, and he's so fucked up. And he starts biting my head like a steak, like, and he's fucking choking me. And I'm like, it's part of. I'm like crying. It's bad, like crying really bad, but it like kind of felt like I was on the field, you know? I felt like a football player. And he's choking me out, and I'm crying. And finally, the moonlight comes through the window, and he looks me in the eyes, and he goes, oh. It's Party Boy. My bad. And I was like, it's cool. I'm still a big fan. Love the NFL. And then the cops come. And at this point, I'm completely naked except for I'm just in the tighty whities, covered in blood. But I'm all on painkillers, so I don't really realize how fucked up I am. Like how fucked up I look. And so they ring the doorbell. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? Covered in blood. And they're like, yeah, we have reports of a woman screaming. I was like, oh, that was me. That was Party Boy. That's Party Boy. And then the cop put me in handcuffs, and he goes, this isn't any, like, gay thing. You don't have AIDS or nothing. And I was like, flattered that he thought the NFL football player would fuck me, you know? I was like, oh my God, you think you would fuck Party Boy? So then they go to put me in the cop car, and the fucking football player's like, no, I'm not pressing charges. That's Andrew. That's Party Boy, man. Let him go. And they fucking let me go. And
did you stay the night?
Yeah, I did. I stayed the night. It was a really awkward. That was probably the worst sleep of my life. Because, like, I was like, he, like, tried to kill me. Like, I was literally going to die. And I was like, should I hit him with a baseball bat? Because there was a baseball bat there, and I was like, I should kill him, I think, maybe. Not kill him, but, like, beat the shit out of him. But then I was like, I seriously think...
After the police left?
Yeah, after the cops left. And I was like... And my wound, like... I mean, you could see the scar, but it was like gaping, you know? And,
Did you
like,
get stitches?
Like 3 days later, I went to my dad. I was like, is this bad? I was like, well, there's worms. There's a lot of worms. I was like, yeah, but...
But is it, like, bad?
I had worms before, Dad. It's different kind of worms. This is wound worms.
Oh, these are like maggots.
Completely different.
Weird.
Yeah, and then but we're still friends on Facebook. He writes on my statuses all the time. Good guy.
Good guy.
He's so fucking big. 6'9", 340 pounds.
Oh, man.
It was crazy.
What's the biggest girl you've ever been with?
Him. I don't know. I've been with some, I don't know, maybe like 200 around. I kind of like a big woman these days. I like it.
Like how tall? 5 foot?
Yeah. I like a huge woman, like 4'9", 80 pounds.
Monster.
Monster woman. Just can throw me around. No, I don't know. Like, I kind of like thick women. Thick women tend to have nicer vagines.
That's what I was telling my coworkers because they were all with these stick women.
Yeah.
And I was like, doesn't your dick get hurt? Like going in that bony thing?
Yeah,
And-
I don't know. I've noticed like real skinny women tend to have like these hangers. These big old. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't mind though. Give it everything.
Like beat up salami.
Yeah.
Like the thin slice.
It's weird. I don't know. I think the legs of a thicker woman, they hold the puss to get inside. I think it's medical. It's probably medical.
It's science.
Yeah.
It's
The smallest girl I ever fucked was literally 4'10", and she had a Hulk Hogan pussy. I mean, it was like
What do you mean by
it
Hulk
was
Hogan?
a monster.
I don't know what that
It
means.
was taller than she. It was huge.
I just looked at mine like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, sorry. You okay? That's why you've been having anxiety.
Anyway,
Here's a game: Lyme disease or look at my pussy. Why do I feel bad? Do you
I haven't
think
been
your-
able to see since. Are we here?
Do
Are
you-
we at Sound Lounge?
Do you think about what your pussy looks like?
No.
I'm sure people have told you that they probably enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been engaged 7 times. I know it's good. That's not a question. I never questioned it.
Yeah.
Because results were there.
Yeah, results oriented.
Yeah, I saw, I've been in a lot of locker rooms.
And you seen some hangers?
Well, yeah, I've been noticing some weird shit lately. I think I've become a little more observant. I'm always like, whoa. Ugh.
I always thought like each dick is kind of different, but like pussies are like they
Way
have their
different.
own. Every pussy has its own. That should be like your thumbprint.
Yeah, but dicks are way different.
Yeah,
They're so weird.
yeah. Dicks are pretty
Different color, skin,
different
moles.
Yeah, moles.
I got a dick pic with a mole on it, and I was like, spin it around, get it on the other side.
That's shit. Yeah, I know what you'll like. Moles. You don't even like a mole on the face, let alone the dick.
No, I went out with somebody, and then I saw that they had a skin tag on their neck, and I was like, ugh.
Just get it removed. I never understood that when someone has like a big mole or something and it's like nasty. It's like just fucking cut it off. What are you doing?
Well, skin tags are a sign of pre-diabetic being also.
Yeah.
Not saying that you shouldn't get it removed, but
Oh my god. That is the cutest dog I've ever seen in my life.
I told you so.
Huh?
You gotta get in the camera.
Yeah, come on in. Bring the dog. You can pick the
Our
dog
guest
up.
is here. Yeah.
This is Luna.
Luna?
I couldn't do it. I walked out and she started crying, so I just.
Oh, it's fine.
Hey, we love you.
Oh my god.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm love.
You can pick her up.
You
Have
guys
her
do
on
the
show.
pod. You guys do the pod. I'll be down
No,
here.
pick her up. Put her on the pod.
All right, can I pick her up?
Yeah.
Luna.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
So there's a puppy here with the guest.
I remember the guest is the puppy and I'm her hand.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We're not gonna pay attention to you anymore.
It smells like a puppy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We've lost Mara.
Yeah, she started crying when I walked out. I was like, I can't do this to her. I've been gone all day.
Kamal's
Yeah.
written books and shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is Luna.
Mara's crying. Mara's
Another
crying.
funny thing, you ever read Marley and Me? Watch the movie?
Yeah.
So the editor for that book was the editor for my last novel. So I called him up. I'm like, hey, Mara, what do you think of Luna and me as your next book?
Yes.
I love it.
Wait.
Look at it. What kind of dog? It's
She's a lab.
a lab.
She's a silver lab.
Yeah, I've never seen a silver lab. I
They're
thought it
rare.
was maybe like a Rhodesian, not Rhodesian.
Yeah, a lot of people think so. She's a Weimaraner.
Or
I'm gonna give her
Weimaraner.
a T-shirt that says I'm not a Weimaraner.
Yeah.
Every time I'm outside, that's what I'll deal with. She's gonna have a complex. So, Luna, here.
How old is she?
She's 13 weeks old.
How much puss are you getting with this dog?
None. I'm pretty lame.
Get you. I gotta
But
teach
she
you.
gets all. She gets all. The
I was like,
attention.
I gotta show you the ways
Oh,
here.
Please.
Author
Ooh,
extraordinaire. I know. I brought it.
thank you.
He wrote me a little wrote me a little note in here.
Aw.
I know. So nice.
Yeah.
Rebirth. You've also written others.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you married?
No, single.
Nice.
Very.
I like it.
This is one of my life
And a
right
puppy. Well, I was reading in the beginning. Is this okay? Wait. Can you explain? Like, teach us. Like, we're idiots. So the character in it
Yeah.
is. How do you say it? Amit.
Amit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that you?
It's based on an experience I had. So I took this experience I had in my 20s.
Okay.
And it was such a great foundation for writing a story, the classic hero's journey.
Yes.
And then I took that experience and I built this novel on top of it.
So did your father pass away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that part is true. He passed away. I took his ashes to Ganges, and I did end up walking through Spain afterwards. That's all true. But the rest is pretty much all there.
Loit.
Luik.
Okay.
Luik was my favorite character to write. He was so much fun to write. And I just took this Frenchman I met along the way named Luik and just took his personality in my head all these years later and created this character of all the things I wanted to say through him.
So you wrote this kind of like the Bible, like you experienced it and then you wrote it a bunch of years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the
I guess.
Bible.
I mean, never thought of it that way. I mean, like, you got
Are
the
you
book
God?
Of, it's like the book of Revelation was
Yeah.
some dude's nightmare. You wrote that down. And
Oh my gosh.
do I need to put this on?
Yeah, if you
It
yeah,
might
sure.
sound better. How do you like that?
Oh, that's much
now
better.
I'm really in your head.
Yeah.
So we're
I'm
gonna.
Andrew, by
Maybe
the
you're
way.
God.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am. With a lisp. I
And
don't
this
know.
is
I don't know.
Marshall.
Hi, Marshall.
Kamal Ravikant. Is that how you say your last
Yeah,
name? Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Beautiful. I got it right.
This is great space.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's Marshall's.
So what's going on, man?
What's going on?
Now that we,
I got a puppy.
I know.
A puppy in New York City is not normal.
No,
You don't just open the door, say, go pee.
not a big one.
You pick her up every
Mm-hmm.
2 hours, take her out, middle of the night, whatever, go out to do her thing. You're basically working for the puppy.
What made you want a puppy?
Tim Ferriss, he's a close friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hanging out about a month and a half ago, and I love his dog, Molly. And he's like, look, you get along better with her than most people. Like, you need a dog in your life. You just do, because I spend a lot of time alone. I'm a writer, do all these other things, but, it's all in my head in front of a computer. So it's like you need something like that in your life. And so I just kind of went and got her.
And then she ate your shoes, and now you.
She
No, I'm kidding.
she was sick last few days. My apartment was a hazmat zone. That's
Yeah.
when you realize true love. Because I'm in my, I
How'd
was
she
like,
get sick?
She probably ate something off.
Yeah, true.
Might have something to do with me. I gave her a little bit of yellowtail sushi.
Ooh.
She enjoyed it at the moment.
Soy sauce?
No soy sauce.
Oh, that's probably what it was.
Wasabi?
My God, next 3 days my apartment. That's how it's love because I'm just hands and knees, just
Yeah.
cleaning.
My
you're
dog
fine.
Bailey, I had a black lab, and I bought my first house that I bought brand new, and they put like this huge basket of very expensive candies on, and he ate everything, bags and everything. And then I came home to just mounds of thick, and I was like, oh, that's. And the doctor was like, that's a lab.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, she's done things like, I'm like, well, I'm impressed. I mean, really, you can't get mad.
Yeah.
It's a puppy,
It's hard.
Like, I'm impressed. Kudos.
So our show is about divorce.
Oh, perfect. I didn't know that.
Oh, she just surprised you?
I know. I do that.
She likes
I
to do that to the
Look,
guys.
like to
look,
do a
she's
little-
awesome. She says show up to something, I show up.
know.
Yeah. Like, it's just a fun-loving podcast.
Just a fun-
Just be you. Just
just
talk
really-
about the puppy and divorce.
And divorce.
yeah, and death.
And a lot of politics.
No, no politics.
No,
good
none.
God.
Zero.
No
Zero.
politics here.
We don't do any politics. So have you been married?
No,
Okay.
never.
Why not?
I was too immature at one point in my life.
Okay.
Then I was too busy traveling, backpacking, building companies. I was too selfish.
Okay. Oh, I like it. I like the honesty.
And then I think now I'm kind of at the point where, okay, I can see that. I hope that happens. I
Yeah,
think I'm
really?
Finally, I'm at the point where I think I can step up to that.
I feel like men get to choose a lot later in life.
Yeah?
Yeah, women have to go in their prime, their primo fertility time. I think. Well, maybe not in New York so much, but everywhere else. Right, Marsh? How you doing? You okay? You alive?
You know what's driving me crazy?
The dog biting?
He's on the metal, and that's all I'm hearing. I'm about ready to move the
Should we
thing
take
over to
the-
here. No, just move him over.
The dog over?
She.
She.
Luna. She.
Hear it all that noise?
I guess it will sound on the podcast.
This is all about letting go.
Okay.
Being USA, meditating, right? This I can meditate through. This doesn't bother me.
I can move her.
Or just the
We'll move it over there on the
or
carpet.
just the bone off the
hang on.
Sorry.
It's just my sound thing. Come over here. Yeah. Come over here.
Oh
Good.
my God.
Perfect.
She's gonna go right back.
No, she won't. She'll stay right there.
I don't know. My dog.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my god, she's so cute, man. That will get you a wife for sure. So where are
Yeah.
you from originally?
Born in India,
Yeah.
raised in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
Escaped, graduated high school at 16, escaped, went to college for a year, dropped out, joined the Army.
Wow.
Join the army.
Yeah, I was in the 10th Mountain. I was an infantry soldier carrying a rifle.
Care.
Wait, so where did you go to college originally? So,
SUNY Albany for a year. Couldn't stand it. It was
like,
just...
I'd rather fight. than hang
yeah,
out.
basically, it was like, screw it. What could be
You
worse?
just were looking for direction? Is that what it was, or?
I had a full scholarship, and I was going to school, and you never show up to class, and it was 500 people, and all you did was drink. And after a year, that I was like, there's got to be something. Like, if this is it, I don't want it. And so I was just walking by the recruiter's office, and I walked in, and they're pretty good at what they do.
They
And
are.
So I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I think I might join the Army. She's like, okay, just think carefully. Next day I called her, like, Mom, I joined the Army. And that was that. And then after the Army, I went to University of Rochester, and then moved out to Silicon Valley. The dot-com boom was happening, and started building companies out there.
And how long were you in the Army?
3 years total.
Did you go? Did you leave? No.
I was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
The guys at my unit, they went to Afghanistan, but I was out before then.
What year was this? How long ago?
This was a while back.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to do your day. Okay, I get it. So then you went back to school,
Yeah.
and how did you feel after being in the Army? Did you feel like that you had more structure? Did you?
One thing I learned in the Army was it comes down to you. You can be a slacker in the military.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a slacker anywhere you go. And so I went to University of Rochester. Was a much tougher school, so I couldn't slack away there, which was better for me.
Probably more suitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad I did the military. It was a great experience at 18. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a
Did you give you like some order?
It gave me a sense of self. Like after I came out of just boot camp alone, I came out like I knew I could handle anything, which I didn't have before. And that's a gift. I look back at that 18-year-old who made that decision, and I'm glad for.
I tried to join the Air Force, and I was 16, and my parents were like, "We're not signing that." And I was like, "Please,
Oh my God, you on a F-15 fighter?
you guys like move over. I want to go like that way.
Can I bring can I bring a martini up
Can
here?
I bring Frank? My dog's name is Frank.
So is this really about divorce?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been divorced 3 times.
Uh-huh.
Andrew's a child of divorce.
I'm a
but-
child of divorce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's always nice when we find that out.
We're like, that's awesome.
I'm happy to hear it.
So how old?
That's not normal, right?
No, my parents. Actually, my mom left my dad. I took my brother and I. He was an abusive guy, and she was like, "I'm not
Wow.
raising my boys with this example." And we were like on the streets and raised my brother on nothing, minimum wage, food stamps, then just like living where we had to have 8-10 locks on our doors and.
In Jamaica, Queens?
Yeah, when
That's
it was like
insane.
when where the rappers came from, that area, right?
Wow.
And we've turned out pretty fine. Like my brother is one of the top guys in Silicon Valley. I wasn't a writer as an investor, and it's kudos to her.
That's
Really?
awesome.
How old were you when that happened?
I think I was 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you were living in India and
we came here. and
she
then,
divorced him and came here?
No, they came here
Oh.
and then got divorced here.
Got it. So I mean, sorry to sound naive. I also was in an abusive relationship. Is that a cultural, do you think it's different?
I think it's partially cultural, partially what they're raised in. You know, honestly, I don't consider anything an excuse. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like our choice.
Right.
Which actually, a lot of this
Every
book is about
action,
that,
yes,
right? It's like,
that's true.
But the dad was abusive, and he has to figure out what to do when the dad dies, and you know how he learns his humanity, and ultimately, if it's been going on generations, it's our choice we continue or not. It's a personal choice and responsibility.
Yeah, it's just like kids that grow up in abusive homes or kids that grow up in a childhood divorce. It's ultimately your decision. Your future is still your decision. Like, you can learn from it and move forward in a positive way, or you can be
It's just
negative.
hard because you're around it and you think it's normal. Like,
Yeah.
what is normal to you? You know?
Yeah. I mean, but fortunately, we live at a time where everything is available to us, all information, the world. You know, I think like cults are going to have a harder time keeping people because of access to information. Same thing with what you grow up is not necessarily what the world has to be.
Yeah, I haven't heard about ISIS in a while.
Well, I feel like our age, we grow up and we were like the TV generation, right? And it's like we learn from watching TV families, and you have this idea and this like you romanticize like things like, oh, that move, I'm gonna live my life like that's how my life's gonna be, and you don't get to now with the internet you can see everything.
Everyone's screwed up.
But you're very limited when we were growing up, and I feel like that's what you would take in, and that's all you had, and that and your own family. You didn't really have many.
Maybe that's why
places.
Married with Children was so popular.
Oh my
because
gosh, yeah, it was
actually
the first
a real,
dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's reality.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Like the
my
Cosby
dad.
Show was not reality.
No, but that's what everyone aspired to be. Which then at the end you find out he wasn't that great of a guy.
Oh, yeah. And Al Bundy's great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy in
Great
person.
guy. Yeah, that's crazy. Have you ever had any like long-term relationships?
Yeah. 3-ish years. Does that count?
3-ish years? Yeah,
Okay.
of course. Did you live with her?
That one, her, no. Another one I did. A couple brief ones. You know what? Honestly, though, I think for a long time I didn't want to get married as well because coming from, now that we go into the whole divorce thing. And I think I just had to grow up and be in a relationship, realize the value of relationships and the value of commitment to someone. But now, like, I wonder if I've shot myself in the foot. I have such high standards for what I want, you know. So I don't know.
Did
honestly.
you do you manifest and meditate?
I do.
Good.
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
No, we were just talking about meditation.
Yeah, we were just talking about
We're both
how
trying it
we're
out.
I suck at it. He's better at it, but
You
I'm
know,
Well, it's
I get
not a
very
competition.
frustrated.
It's not a competition.
But it is the Buddha. You know, we got to beat the Buddha.
I know.
Buddha, Buddha.
Well, granted, I'm on the 4th day of Headspace, so I don't even see the Buddha right now, but
Fourth day.
yeah, the 4th day.
I'm only on the second day.
And it's not 4 in a row. It's been over about 9 years. So, but
But it adds up.
it adds up. But no, I think what I thought meditation was, as opposed to what I've learned, is like the thought. I thought you have to stop your thoughts, but it's all about letting your thoughts come and then go. Like, and that's changed. That's allowed me to sit down for 10 minutes. Also, not sitting. I have very bad hips. I have very tight hips, and I'm just saying, like sitting Indian style or how they had my idea of how you had to sit. It's very uncomfortable for me. So I'm uncomfortable physically, so it's hard for me to get right mentally.
Don't they say you're supposed to just be comfortable? Like lay in a comfortable...
I don't think you're supposed to be so comfortable that you can sleep, right?
Yeah, I would just put my back against the wall and my feet out.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I've
what
been
I do
doing.
often. You know,
Yeah.
it's more the noggin than it is the shape of what shape your body's in.
Dr. Wayne Dyer says you're supposed to do it very early in the morning with like the lunar cycle, and you're supposed to also, which I don't know,
God.
I was like, I also have to work at 5:30, so I can't. And then
I also feel like your brain is like at its most relaxed state then, so it's like, why are you doing it then? I feel like at like 2:30 when that panic really hits and the anxiety is at its highest, you attack it with the meditation and you try to calm yourself down in the
I
afternoon.
get very sleepy at 2:30 in the afternoon. I guess my 2:30 would be
5.
12:30 p.m.
Oh.
Like lunch, because I get to work at 5. So that's a lot earlier.
No, it'd be later.
It'd be later.
Sorry.
Let's just get on a chart. Miles?
I think ultimately anything where you do where you're present is meditation. That's what meditation gets you in. That's why like when you're downhill skiing or like you're jumping out of a plane, you're doing all these things. You are present. That's meditation. So like sometimes what I do is I'll be walking around and I'll just like do these. I do a different kind of meditation. One I kind of came up with when I was at a really shitty place in my life, almost to save myself. And I started repeating this mental loop to myself, and that's all I do. I just breathe it in, breathe it out, breathe it in 5 times, and it just recenters me.
Oh, do you have anxiety?
No, no, I don't. But
You
like
just get distracted?
distracted, or just like we get caught in your head, the rat holes or whatever is going on, and then just like it's just switching out of it to centering, and then back to life. But you go back to life centered.
I had this therapist that told me I had to think about a purple light that glowed. And she was like, just think about the purple light. And I was like, no.
Sounds like
Maybe that works for you.
Sounds like Skeletor.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I think she read my palm and then she stole my wallet. But like I saw the light. I saw it. So you have a brother, right? You said
I do have a
Is
younger
he older
brother.
or younger?
He's younger.
So
Yeah, but he's married. He's got a beautiful 1-year-old boy.
how much younger is he than you?
2.5 years.
Okay. So when you had the divorce, you had to be the main. I mean, that made you
like
mature pretty quickly.
Yeah, childhood-wise, like I have more of the memories than he does. He was younger. Yeah, so which is good.
Was your dad
Ignorance is
abusive
bliss.
with you?
Yeah.
With you guys?
Not with him, with me, because I used to fight him.
Oh, you used to
'cause
take it on?
Because he used to, he was abusive to my mom. Mm-hmm. And my earliest memories are fighting my dad, trying to protect my mom.
So you did like the distract?
No, I would literally
With your
fight my
mom?
dad.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, because
When
like
you were 11.
Oh, dude, when some of my earliest memories are that, just like fighting my dad, as far as I can remember. But, if you think about it, right? So one could look at that and say that's pretty screwed up. But the way I've turned out to be, like, I'm very protective of the people I love. Like, I'm the guy that when shit hits the fan, people call. It comes from that. So I don't look at it as a bad thing. That was great training.
Yeah.
If you think about it as a young kid, for a quality I'm proud of as a grown man. So
my mom was that way also, but I would do the distract. I would just like point all the attention to me so my sister
Yeah.
wouldn't get abused, or my little brother. I feel like I'm very protective and I will help everyone that I love, but then as soon as someone goes into like an abusive type, like even if it's just an emotional, I cut them off immediately. I'm like,
you know what?
Do you have-
Not a bad filter.
yeah, no?
Life's too short.
I know, but I have no friends.
She cut me out years ago. I'm in it for the big money, So did you
Subscribe
ever
to us for free on iTunes.
did you ever rekindle with your father? Or
No, well, I found out he was dying of cancer when I was in my early 20s, and I went to see him, and that was hard.
and
then
how long was it until you saw him?
It had been like at least a decade.
Okay.
Over a decade, and then I was with him the night he died. That's actually that part in the book is true, and that was really affected me. I didn't expect it to, And so you realize we do carry these, whatever they want to call it, the flags of our fathers or whatever. We do carry this, and so if we can make that peace when they're living, is far better, because when they're gone, we have to do it inside here, which sometimes is almost tougher.
Yeah, but I feel like that is where that's the piece that you're trying to get over, it's your own turmoil.
Yeah, it always is. It's always the inner stuff,
Yeah.
Even forgiveness is the most beautifully selfish thing we can do. Sorry. I was getting comfortable.
No, it was great. It was great. We should have more comfortable chairs, I swear. I apologize.
We should have extended mics, more comfortable chairs.
I'm sorry.
Ugh.
What is she eating?
Ugh.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's my puppy.
That's your puppy. Keep talking. Sorry.
So are you a comedian as well?
I do stand up.
Cool.
Yeah. And we met 4 years ago.
Yep.
We were working for the same dog walking company. And I went to Tulane in New Orleans, and she obviously went to a good school, and we both had real jobs, and then we met each other picking up dog shit. But, we're here.
Great story. Start that way.
Yeah, right?
Actually, my new favorite book is by Judd Apatow, Sick in the Head.
Yeah.
I
read
love that book.
I read it, yeah.
He's so good.
It's just
And
conversations with comedians.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
On the craft.
poking the dead frog is similar.
No,
which
I've
is
read
great
that.
too. If you like that, you'll like this one.
I love them talking about the craft, how they all approach different ways they approach craft. Seinfeld versus Louis C.K. They have such different views on the craft, but yet the same. And also you can see that in the result. You know, they both make you laugh, but so differently. It's a great book.
Yeah, Seinfeld just write. He wakes up, he'll write for 2 hours a day, and then Louis is more like he'll talk it out on stage, and kind of he doesn't really write. Which
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
And then
have
some-
to write everything down because I can't remember unless I write it. I can't like you put everything in your phone. I have to physically write it down, or
It's
else
funny.
I
The
forget.
more I do it, the longer I think of it as like a writing process, and like any joke that I like, it just comes. And like you don't.
Yeah.
I stopped trying to search for it and stop. Like you start with open mics, and you go to these open mics, and you're like, I gotta get a new joke for the mic, and you just because you don't want other people to hear the joke you did yesterday or 2 days before, and it's like it's all this ego, and you're like trying to write something, and then eventually you just like, oh no, I already had so many interesting things about who I was, and then stop like searching for things. And
Yeah, when
that's
I go to
think-
mics, I go up and I just tell. Lately, I just go tell a story that I think is interesting, and then I'll go back and listen to it and think of where I can put in tags. But I'm sure people get annoyed because it's not like a structured joke. I'm like, here's what I was thinking about today. Later.
Well, actually, you know who reminds me of that? Bert Kreischer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All his everything of his I've seen is just stories, and he's
The
brilliant.
Machine,
Oh,
yeah.
The Machine.
Yeah, it's a great story.
It's
a great story.
Yeah,
He
him, Birbiglia, so
Big Way
good.
tells stories. John Mulaney's a great storyteller.
And I love the science behind just everything is so mathematically perfect
Yeah,
when they're
yeah.
end product. You're like, oh, that was brilliant. Their little callbacks that they weave in. I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't wait to be that good.
Yeah, there's such a craft to comedy. It is so intelligent.
It's
actually,
crazy.
I know, and I feel like I'm so dumb.
Like,
I know. It's
like
just
in
it's
kindergarten.
interesting. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's like the one thing we can do. I think writing simple and like breaking down stories. I feel like I can't write them advanced with big words and so it's like I simplify it for myself. I can only write simple, and I think that helps on stage.
well, the best stuff is simple.
Yeah.
Hemingway. You know. I mean, it's simple. Like anything that requires explanation, cut it out. Or you gotta stop and think about it for a second. Cut it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually very deep and complex, but it was very simply written. I mean,
Thank you.
I-
I worked hard on that. Yeah,
It was great.
yeah, that's the
I
style
was
I've
like,
been
I
working
can
on.
read this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, I was like writing and collecting rejection letters for about 15 years, nonstop, obsessively. You know,
How did that feel?
shitty. It sucked.
Right,
It was
yeah.
terrible. But then all of a sudden, one day, you're an instant success. You know.
What pushed you? What pushed you to keep going?
You know, I think about that. I think about that guy who did that, and I'm always amazed that I kept going. And what pushed me was I had stories to tell. I wasn't just writing as a sake of exercising something or playing the keys. You know, I would actually had songs to sing, and so it was just a matter of okay, I got these stories to tell, and my craft isn't good enough. So go study the craft, come back, retell it, send it out, get better rejection letters. You know, get depressed for a month, get up again, go do it again. You know, study the craft for a year, redo it, send them out, get better rejection letters, but still all. I mean,
Do you think
There-
if you didn't go to the army, you could do that? Do you think those kind of experiences helped you to handle rejection? And
well,
do
the
you think
army's
it's
not
just-
about rejection. The army's just about misery.
yeah,
That's different.
or the misery more
That's
than the
different.
rejection.
Rejection, you know, look, the misery is we create out of it. Like I have a great friend of mine, Cheryl Richardson. She's a very wise woman. She was an Oprah for a year. Like she's legit, and she always tells me, Kamal, rejection is God's protection. I love that. It's actually helped me at certain times. You know, it's like because we don't know what's down the road.
Right.
You know, like we just know what we want now. We want it now. We want it now. And 2 years from now, it could be the worst thing ever happened to us, right? And so, I think what kept me really was just having stories to tell that made me realize I had to get better at the craft and just work obsessively on the craft so I could tell these stories.
Now, how do you get better at the craft?
I obsessively read Hemingway, like not just read, but read, reread, and then started taking apart sentence by sentence, you know, line by line, actually theme by theme. And then other writers I fell in love with, poets, same thing, just take them apart, learning. Like, I think it takes a level of obsession to get great at it, you never master a craft. You can only get better and better at it. It takes that. And then doing it, not studying it. I didn't take go to school for it.
How old were you when you started writing?
My 20s.
After your father passed away?
Yeah.
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 Do you think that obviously there's a connection there, or
Well, maybe. I mean, I wanted to tell that story, but then I wanted to tell other stories.
what did your father
Do
do?
you think that your
Oh,
father
sorry.
passing gave you like more freedom to be more open about it?
No, because no one supported it. Everyone thought I was nuts. Like, what are you doing with your time? Like, my mom would always be worrying about, like, why are you trying to be a writer? You know, the Indian mom, you know, like, why don't you just go to med school? You know, like,
Yeah, I have a Jewish father. My dad's a doctor. No, but it was until
Yeah.
my brother was successful that I was able to. It took me a long time to be able to go after something creative without, because I was constantly worried about having
Yeah.
a career.
yeah. And, but, you know, so I think sometimes we just have this internal calling, and it's almost like life requires for us to put in that when no one sees it, for us to continue going, because it's almost like we have to earn our medal. And when you do it, you're far, far better for it. Like, I look back and I'm so glad those first few years or even the first decade of what I didn't get published, because I got to be a really good writer, but I was writing really clever drivel. And then I had to go through some real shit in life and be beaten down and become humble. Right, and then I started writing taking that same craft and writing from a place of where I was. One of the edits I would do is take out my ego, and that's when I hit success. You know, so I had to like live life
Yeah.
as well.
I think about that with our show here. I always think we have a pretty strong purpose. I know we really joke and we keep it pretty light, but there's a lot of shame in divorce. There's a lot of ego issues, and the fact that we do make light of it and that there is a life afterwards, and we get written in letters about how we're helping people kind of get past the stereotypes that it's such an awful thing. I think it's kind of helped a lot. It's like,
I'm
oh my
glad.
God, I have a
My
purpose.
mom divorcing my dad was the best thing she could have done for us. You know, like.
It freed all of you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy.
And that's
it was really
hard.
hard, yeah.
In your culture, it's hard to get divorced.
Oh, she was ostracized by, like, she had no friends, and we were in New York.
Yeah.
Right? She had no friends. She was ostracized by community. Like, you don't do this, you know, we don't talk about this. And
What did she do for work?
she worked to end up, like, she was cleaning houses where we lived. Just, we were, like, a lot of shit stuff.
Yeah.
And then she ended up working in a hospital, just, you know, clerical stuff. She made minimum wage and raised my brother and I on that.
That's pretty freaking amazing.
She's pretty baller.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
We had a guest, Rochelle, on here who the same thing, Orthodox Jewish, and she was being abused and he wouldn't let her out of the relationship. She slept on the couch, paid for her own way to go to college, and just kind of taught her kids how to, and then finally got out and was a graduate and all this. I was like, this badass.
You know, the thing is, life's too short to be stuck in anything that's not
Yes.
good for us. Because actually, if it's not good for us, it's not good for who we're with, right? It's just not. And it's better that everybody go their own way and find what's good for them, live their path, follow their paths, and find.
You have a good quote in here, and I was trying to find it. I was like, I marked it out. What happened to it?
Who said it?
I'll find it. I will find it before the end of this. It's really in the early
I'm always
part.
so intrigued by when a mother gains strength from a divorce, because mine lost all her strength, you know. So she like
Yeah.
started drinking, and she never left her room, and she, you know, became an alcoholic, and she never found her purpose. Even though like she's brilliant and she was like a great interior designer, but she never went for it, because also you're getting alimony checks, you're afraid to go off on your own because here you have this safety
lose
net
that,
of the
yeah.
money. Now in your mom's case, I think a lot of times when I hear where the father isn't like very successful and like paying, and like, so there's no safety net for a mother, so she either has to do shit or her kids will be done. So I feel like my mom never had that. So it's always interesting when I hear like a strong mother, and I was like, I don't know, I just wish that happened for my mom. You know what I mean?
How is she now?
She's sick. I mean, unfortunately, she has emphysema now, so it's kind of. But she got sober for like 11 years now.
I mean, that takes balls.
I know she could give up drinking, but giving up smoking was harder. And
I feel like a lot of alcoholics that they deal with that.
yeah, they do. And well, a lot of alcoholics end up becoming
smoking. Yeah.
Start smoking.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
Okay, I found it. Can I read this quote? I think
Yeah,
it's-
I'm done
okay.
being sad.
Okay, thanks. It actually pertains to this. It says, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. if you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you.
Yeah, that's from the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas. That's where I came across it. It like shook me. It was like literally, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to weave that in with the character. So Luik reads that to the character.
It's intense.
Yeah, you can't hide shit.
No.
Yeah, which I've done my whole life.
Yep. Your purpose is your purpose. Yep.
Do you still feel like you have inner, or does writing allow you release it in your writing, but in your real life, do you find yourself not practicing what you preach, but like practicing what you write? Do you feel like it's harder to sustain it and every day be that you know what I mean? And keep it, like you said, present.
Fortunately, like if you look at the definition of human, it doesn't say perfect.
Yeah.
That's one of the things as I gotten older, I've realized my own humanity, right? So like, I work on myself, and what I'm learning, I weave into my books.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't put anything out of theory. I put in what I'm living, but I live it in different stages. And I think I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and he was talking about like these certain things he does that just made his life so great. But he's like, but then I kind of slack off and this and that. We're human. We all do that, right? That's just nature of being human. And then we fall enough. We're like, oh yeah, I used to do that, so you go back and do that. It's like going to the gym. I love that metaphor. We met at the gym.
We did meet at the gym.
And so if you can go to the gym, get fit, and then stop slack, and then get less fit. But then you know how to get fit again. Go back to the gym.
Yeah. I think about that with Tony Robbins too. It's like he's mortal, but he has a lot of good lessons. I'm trying to come to grips with my Tony Robbins relationship.
And that money you spent.
Yeah.
Which one did you go to?
I went to all of them.
Wow.
Yep. So I spent all $50,000 plus accommodations.
Well,
so
you got accommodations.
I know. Yeah.
Were the meals included?
No. You have to pay for all that. That's all extra. And when I got there, I was like, I guess I could eat like Nutri-Grain bars.
Because I have no money.
I am out.
I have no gas to get back home.
They're like, wow, you got
but
so lean.
I feel great.
You got so lean on
Once
that
I ran
trip.
on that hot coal, and I was in debt in my credit card.
I felt so great.
Yeah. It's always
No,
interesting
he's
to pay to feel better. I always find that.
Well, I do a lot of the things that he says to do. Like the cryo, the exercise, the whatever, facing your demons. I'm like, I just hate you so much.
Yeah, we joke that you need big teeth and a nice smile to get money from people.
You could do it. You got a good smile. You just have too much of a heart.
I was put here to write books, to write stories. Yeah, I want to just stick with that.
Did you ever speak?
I have, and I do very well when I do, but I do it rarely. If it's really interesting to me, I do it. Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't get this level of success when I was in my 20s or in early 30s. Like I would have approached it differently. Trying to make myself feel a certain way about myself by doing it. Now I do it only if I feel like it, if it's interesting, if it's of value. Otherwise, I don't. Because
we both started at 30, Mara started.
45.
16.
I think actually, if you look at a lot of the best ones, that's when no one knows themselves in their 20s.
I know.
Can you imagine being 20 in your 20s again?
I don't
really
want to go
suck.
back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would really suck.
I remember.
I don't know if you're in your 20s. I apologize.
Yeah. It sucks. I was so peaceful on my 30th birthday. I was like an insane person the day before, and then I woke up and I had like this real weird peace. It was
At
very
30?
strange. Yeah. It was crazy.
I went to medieval times and dressed as a king. So it's great.
So
we had
real
my brother
peaceful.
set up a surprise birthday, and like 30 of us dressed as like medieval characters. Yeah,
Hilarious.
it's pretty funny. Yeah, but I think even I think I matured. Like when I moved to New York, I think the idea of being an artist. I think sometimes when people when you're a writer, or when you're doing something creative, you're like, that idea of being an artist is very sexy and like romantic, and you're like, oh, I'm doing something different, and it's like about like being like in your head, you're like trying to be this artist, and then you eventually like get tired. It's just exhausting. And then I think that's when you become whatever in art.
Yeah,
whatever
because that's when you start creating the real stuff.
Yeah.
Like Louis C.K.'s thing, like the history of it, George Carlin. It's one of my favorite stories about creatives. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Where he was, I think, I guess you have an hour special bit that you spend all these years coming up with. He spent like 15 years, get his hour that he was doing.
Yes.
And then he was listening to an interview with George Carlin, and Carlin did a special every year with completely new material. And someone asked him in the interview, like, how do you do it? And Louis C.K. is like, he's listening. He's like, yeah, oh my God, how do you do it? George Carlin's like, simple. He's like, when you're done, you throw it away. You start with who you are now, and you move forward. And that, like, scared the hell out of Louis C.K. He's like, I just spent all these 15 years to go in with this really shitty hour. How am I going to come up with just even like a horrible hour? But decided to do it. And that's when he started talking about who he was then, which was just become a parent. And he started talking about like his like daughter was an asshole. Remember that? Like that whole bit? Like he came up with that and took off. He just started being who he was then. Right?
Sure, yeah. He stopped doing like the dog bit, like the silly bits.
Yeah.
And he just started to talk about how he fucking hates his kids.
Yeah. I mean, like.
And so many people related to it.
And he does the same thing now. Every year, a new special that Carlin did. And it's really, I think, really powerful as a creative to throw away. And I do that in my books, right? I wrote that book last year. Who am I now? What am I going to write now? It's scary. It's way harder. But I think that's how we can create like really great stuff rather than just capitalizing on the past.
And in stand-up, it's very scary because you're doing that in front of people.
I can't
And
imagine.
you could hear that silence, like, just like that.
So let's think about how we can apply that into
The war.
a regular married life where people are not feeling like themselves. They're not living, because I was in marriages where I just made them 100% what they needed to be and what their dreams were. And I know why I did that now, because my dad wanted to be a race car driver and my mom was like, no, you need to support the family. So go get a regular job. And my dad slowly died, so I was like, I will never do that to a person. So I always supported them 100%, but then I always got mad at them because I wasn't myself. So I'm just thinking about people at home that are listening. If you are struggling, what can they do? Because we're not a proponent of divorce. That's not like, we're not like, just go get divorced. We're not that. We are.
Well, unless you want to come on the show because we're running out of
Yeah.
No, I think the idea is wherever you're at, like I think a lot of it has to do with the past. People can't let go of the past. They can't let go of their ego about the past and who was right and who was wrong, and maybe
And
if
how
you
it
just,
will look.
and how much of it's inside. And if you just turn to the person and just said, "This is how I'm feeling," without like a big, I don't know. I always feel like it's always these relationships. They get to a breaking point where no one says anything. So when it's finally said, it's a fucking like two rams coming at each other and nothing gets accomplished.
The other day, I walked into the gym and this woman goes, "How are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm really hungover. I had to drink a lot of whiskey so I could sleep with a dude. How are you?" She goes, "We've all been there." And I was like,
That's awesome.
Great.
Now
It's a
you're
great
now you're
connection.
connected.
Yeah. She was like, "I love the honesty." I was like, "It's just easier that way."
It really is.
It's just so much easier.
Yeah.
So
Honesty's hard.
it is hard, but once you start
for
doing
like
it,
for
it's
people, people are so trained to like be a certain.
You know, the thing is, I think we're trained to be quote unquote safe.
Yeah.
But the irony in life, there is no safety in life. There really isn't.
no, there really isn't.
That's the irony. So we're like trying to be these safe walls, and
If
there
you're
is no
being
sa-
safe for someone else, you're harming yourself.
and you're probably harming them.
Yeah, because you're being insincere.
Yeah, and like we think we know what's best for the other person, but we're lucky if we know what's best for ourselves, let alone what's best for someone else.
Yeah.
You know,
It's crazy.
it's not easy to do because we are like society raises a certain way, but my God, it's way more liberating. And you ever notice like people when they get cancer, or you ever made someone who's had cancer or terminal illness, how like free like real, no nonsense the conversations are?
My father.
Yes.
How more right?
My
Authentic the
father got
conversations.
breast cancer after being an oncologist for 30 years.
Jesus.
And he was the most like strong, like never talk. And I think a part of it's aging. Like, have you ever noticed like a grandfather versus a father, like how they are with the grandkids versus how they were with the kids, you know?
Yeah.
I just think a lot of it is when you question your own mortality. Like, he probably never thought he would die. So there's like a strength to it. And I think when he got cancer, he just like,
We probably doubled down on the never dying because he was he was like, I'm a magician.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, he was the closest to. Yeah, I mean, he was treated. It's funny. I never thought about my dad as like a stand-up, but like the same feeling you get from a stand-up when everyone tells you you're so fucking funny. As a doctor, you're treated like
Yeah.
Like a king.
Yeah, especially a cancer doctor. Like he saved lives.
It's a reverence. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he couldn't figure it out at home, right? And then, or he'd come home and he'd be so tired from work, or he's treated like a god so much, and then we're treating him like shit. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But anyway, so when he got cancer, I just felt like he let that guard down finally.
You become more human.
Yeah.
And that's actually when connection happens, right? Why do we have to wait till why do we have to wait till we're one of the lucky ones that get a notice that our clock's ticking?
I know. It needs to happen way before that.
And it's a conscious choice, and it takes practice, right? Because we all live like we're gonna live forever.
Well, you don't want to. We were talking about being afraid of dying. She said she wasn't. I'm
not
definitely
afraid.
But like right now, that's all I'm thinking about. That's all I'm thinking about. But so then you have this ticking. You don't want to think about the ticking clock, but then you're saying that you have to think about the ticking.
Well, the samurai, every day they would meditate on their death. So when you go into battle, if you already know you accepted your death, that's when you're gonna be the best warrior. Rather than try to like Luna, like she's present, right? Like, and it's the Stoics. There's a power to it when we know that, like, a friend of mine, James Altucher, has this. He turns out opposite. He acts like whoever he's interacting with that day, that's their last day on Earth. So his thing is, how would I treat them?
Oh, that's
Flipping it around.
Because then you're thinking outside yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I found I had a week left, I would just go spend a lot of time with my mom and love the shit out of her, you know? Like,
I'd
so
go to a
what's
strip club?
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about 100% of the time,
Well, that's
right?
where your mom. That's where your mom works. So.
Yeah. Well,
But funny, I started thinking that lately. That would be better.
I love that. I told you that my mom had emphysema, and now she's a stripper. Which I just can't really see her getting up the pole.
There's layers of strippers, you know? There's
Pulling around the tank.
hoop dancers.
I think she's just checking coats, but naked though. What do you want?
That would be
Do you want to
perfect.
leave your purse too?
Just leave everything. Yeah. No. So you'd be with your mom. You had one more week to live.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't spend 100% with her, but like, so I was actually thinking about that last week. So what I did was I just started FaceTiming her every day.
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping me from that? But if you start realizing just like our mortality, you know, what's important, you just start doing it more. Maybe it's just that simple.
I know it is that simple, but I haven't called my mom in like 3 months. I don't know. I
It's
want
not-
to. I like grab the phone and I'm like, all right, and then I don't do it. And I know it's that
Interesting.
simple.
I feel like social media has helped a lot. Like I Snapchat my niece every day.
text. I text every once in a while.
Well, Snapchat's different because you get to see their face, I think, and you make funny voices and.
But
we
you all look like
connect.
cats and you have all these things sticking out.
We do voice changers. Yeah.
Well, you're
the
an
whole
uncle
thing.
now, right?
Yeah,
And how old's the kid?
he's one.
How's that feel? Because I just have 2 nephews just
Yeah?
recently. So
It's interesting. When I first saw him, you just feel this intense emotion. Where it's like, there is something to this DNA thing.
Yes.
Right? Like, you don't realize it until it actually is.
just wait till like even at 2, like they'll start looking at you, and yours are even older.
I can't even stand how much I love my niece and nephew. I can't even explain it. It was crazy how much I love them. It's insane. I will murder for them. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so see the 1-year-old. So did that, kind of? You were talking about you're ready for marriage. You feel like, or do you think little things like that?
Not because of my nephew, more because of where I am in life, like who I am in life. I do believe in the power of commitment, but I also believe in the my other world is I do venture capital and I invest in companies and deal with contracts. I think my ideal marriage would be like a rolling 6-month contract, but both parties have to renew. So this way you don't take each for granted, or if it's not working out for one, okay.
Who do you think your ideal partner is? I think they're going to be like some tall,
Nothing
gorgeous,
like love, like signing papers.
chaotic.
Yeah.
No, but like if
girl.
you're gonna sign a paper, right? It's like, okay, we're not every 6 months. Like that's enough time. Even if someone goes through shit, 6 months. If you're just an asshole for 6 months, maybe it's not the other person doesn't want to be with you now. That's my latest
I
theory.
need
Maybe
that.
that's why I'm single.
Maybe do it 2 months. Maybe you're doing too long. Maybe check in every hour. I find that's what I like. Yeah, you check
What does
in.
your Tinder profile say?
Are you on Tinder?
I am. I'm actually verified on Tinder.
All right.
But
I've never heard a brag about verified on Tinder.
I woke up one morning, I look, and I'm verified on Tinder.
That's ridiculous. I don't know how many girls you fucked to get the check mark. But
I'm pretty lame. I need help. I mean, I'm very lame on it. You'd think it would be working like wonders. It works wonders in matching because they all want to know, like, why are you verified?
Yeah.
Right? But then I'm just beyond that, I
I've
guess.
never heard of the verified thing.
I haven't either.
Yeah. Are you on Bumble?
Yeah. I'm not verified on Bumble, though.
No, you'll get there.
You'll get
Life goals.
Give it enough fucks, you'll get there.
I find we talk about life and so much, and then it just
then
comes
we're
down
like,
to dating.
yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
you on Tinder? You on Bumble?
Yeah.
You swiping? It's like, really? That's what it is now? And it's like, but you get to, I don't know, you can meet a lot of different people. But that could be the problem, too. Like,
Yeah.
Do you believe in soulmates?
I used to. And then life happened.
Yeah.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Yeah, I met her last night. Should see the DMs. It's great. The pictures.
You should see your husband. Continue. Oh.
We're all water. Oh, man.
I do. I believe in soulmates. Believe that our energy exchanges.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, because there's...
I think it's being in the place to notice it.
Hmm.
That's the hard part.
That's true.
Yeah.
It helps when you're more present, you know.
And confident in yourself where you think you deserve it. And I think
that's big.
Yeah, I think that's always hard for me. Deserving,
Love.
what do I deserve? And like, what kind of person do I deserve? That's always tough, I think.
Maybe you should meditate on it.
Well, I just feel like
Day
the girls
5.
The girls
Sure.
not. I've never met a verified girl on Tinder. That's the problem. Or I don't think I'm good enough for
Actually, I
the
never
verified.
have. I've never come across one.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard. I think it's scary for women who are famous to be
on Tinder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of
That's got to be weird for
yeah, because they have to show like side profile or hidden face, and then no guy's gonna swipe them because they're hidden unless they're very curious, and then they just want to know for the story. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there's some guys who'll just put up their Conan picture. It's like, here's me with Conan. And then
I
they fuck.
know.
Yeah, it's pretty good move, actually. I just need to get on Conan. Or I could just Photoshop it, I guess. No one knows. No one checks that shit.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's interesting that you do venture capitalism and then you're also a writer. Like, I always find, like, because we pick up dog shit and we do comedy. It's like, it's not like we have, like, an investment. Well, you do. You're also a trainer. But it's like, we don't, with our business mind, like, we don't really think of ourselves as business people. I guess this is like a business. Maybe I'm just talking about myself.
I know.
here.
I was
I'm
like,
sorry,
well,
I'm
why are
throwing
you
in.
projecting me?
So, like, Mara does. No, but it was the idea of like getting a real job. I
Yeah.
guess like if you're just investing, you kind of do it on your own, right? Like,
Well, I built my own firm.
Okay.
So I have investors that invest in my fund, and then I invest that in startups. But I was doing startups, for years. And, I tried the starving artist thing for a while, and it was highly overrated.
I know.
Didn't
I can't
enjoy
do
it.
it.
I didn't enjoy it.
my point of that is that does your brain need to be, if you're looking to be a starving artist, can you also make a good living and still be a great artist?
I think so, because it takes, like being hungry is a lot of pressure. And if you don't worry about that anymore, it's like what I've done is what I've done is allowed me to do is I can take breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I worked on a novel, I just put everything else on autopilot and just became a monk for a year and worked on a novel.
Mm-hmm.
I've created my life. It took me a long time to get to that point. But when I was writing early on and, just learning the craft, I was working a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But on the weekends and on nights when people be going out after work or whatever partying, I'd be studying the craft. It's
Did you ever have balance where you were like, all right, that's enough, I need to go out? Because I feel
No.
I was on antibiotics for like 2 months and I felt like a loser. I was like, I can't go out and have fun at all.
Yeah.
Because I'd go out so sober all the time. I was like, well, they look like they're having fun over there. I'll just
I
be
find
here
when
with
you
my
come-
seltzer.
You come to New York and you're like, I gotta take on New York. New York's the animal, and you gotta get up you gotta get 5 times a day and all that. And then eventually you're like, oh no, I could live a life and still be productive.
Yeah,
and
New
creative.
York is like the ultimate FOMO land, right? If you don't go out at night, you're like, my life is shit. Like, I haven't gotten drunk tonight. What am I doing in my life? It's kind of silly, right?
So silly.
Yeah,
You always feel like you're missing something,
I know.
but you're not because you have Netflix. And you
And,
could,
and ironically, most of the stuff you're missing out on is the stuff that stops your creativity. Anyway.
so true.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think it might stop your creativity, that brain, but it also creates stories, and
That's true.
you are free from that thinking brain when you could let yourself go and do some stupid shit or whatever, or at least just
Yeah, 'cause I feel like sometimes when I go crazy, I can have a better stream of consciousness the next day where I'm telling stories. I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this. Oh, that reminds me of this. Oh, but you can't do it all the time because then you lose a kidney.
The Chinese will make more.
I almost lost my kidney July 1st.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, party animals. Me and Luna out there on those streets.
She likes rosé. I started drinking more now that I got her, and I was sitting there having a nice glass of rosé, and I look and she's lapping away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Frank loves beer. My dog loves beer. Should we talk about Hello Tushy?
yeah, we can talk about that. So we have a sponsor.
We do
now
have a sponsor.
Oh, awesome!
called
Hello, Tushy.
HelloTushy.com. It's a bidet company. Have you ever used a
Have
bidet?
you?
Yes, they're lovely.
Well, that's it. That's all you need to know. HelloTushy.com. And
Hands free.
doesn't it feel amazing? Like I think America, like whatever, they have a hang up about it.
And actually, it's cleaner. You're cleaner rather than taking a
Yes.
piece of dead tree and just wiping it all over yourself.
It's so true. You just smeared the shit literally back on your ass.
Basically, right? If you think about it.
Yeah. But we were at the house and people were worried about using someone else's bidet, you know? Like,
That was their big qualm.
yeah. And whatever. Point being is you've used it. It's great, right?
Yeah,
All right.
it's very civilized.
Yeah, and if you use our passcode,
Happy
happy butthole.
butthole.
Do you have a new book coming out or anything that you would want to plug? Or do you
This Rebirth that
Just
came out this
Rebirth?
year.
Came out
It's,
this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a beautiful book.
Yeah, what do you expect from him? He's like, this took 27 years of my life.
Well, George
Hard
Carlin
work.
wrote 9 books in 3 days.
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah,
I think you're slacking.
Get on it.
I am.
Stop investing, stop verifying, and get to work.
Thank you. I need that.
Is there Instagram or anything or anywhere people can find you? Or?
Instagram, Twitter, my name Kamal Ravikant, which
Okay.
I wish luck people spelling it.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll tag it. We'll tag you, so
There you
then
go.
they can just follow the tags.
Yeah.
We'll put a link to the book
Oh, thank
on
you.
our page as
I'm
well.
going to read it on the train out to the Hamptons.
I love it.
To surf
I love
this
it.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
got to
can
surf.
borrow my
I got to get in
copy.
the water.
You can go buy
My
one
puppy
and
is
support
now
her. I know,
destroying this
destroying the table. Luna.
Oh, Luna.
Oh, he did
Luna
break
for
it.
Luna.
That's impressive.
Yeah, this pup. She likes Apple products the best. out there.
Luna.
Okay, Luna.
Okay, you're gonna get us
I'm
in
gonna-
trouble. Okay, Andrew, where can we find you?
Andrew T. Collin on Instagram and Twitter. Please check me out.
Marshall.
Soundlounge.com.
Ooh, that was the highest that we've ever heard. And you can always follow us on Instagram at Happy Never After Podcast. We're gonna lose everything. Luna.
Goddamn.
Or he's gonna get laid so much. He's gonna be married in a month. Look at the little baby. Oh my god.
And rate and review. All right, have a good day. And check us out on Patreon.
iTunes, Patreon. Oh yeah, iTunes always free. Patreon is just for financial support if you want to. All right, love you guys. See you next week.